whoever is still listening.
Falling from the sky, covering the morning light. Every season lost its name, nothing felt the same again. Satellites had long gone dark, leaving silence in their wake. Yet the tower still remained, standing through the endless rain. Every day she spoke the chord to a world that no one heard. Forecasts drifting through the air, searching for somebody there. Then she looked beyond the storm and said something never broadcast before. If you hear this message now, know we tried to make it out. Know we love beneath these skies before the daylight said goodbye. Though the oceans crossed the land and the mountains turned to sand, there was beauty here before. Please remember what we painted iron gray, swallowing the end of day. Cities vanished one by one beneath the cold and distant sun. Still she climbed the tower stairs, through the dust and empty air, holding tightly to the dream that someone someday hears the stream. Not a warning, not a plea, just a fragment of history. One last voice against the tide before the world was left behind. If tomorrow never comes, at least the truth will travel on. If you hear this message now, carry us beyond the clouds. Tell the stars we were alive. Tell the darkness we survived. Though our roads have reached their end, may our story still transcend every heartbeat, every scar, into whatever worlds there are. No one answered from the sky, no returning signal light. Yet she smiled and pressed transmit, knowing hope was worth the risk. Because even at the end, someone has to still believe that a voice can cross the night and become another sunrise. If you hear this message now, let it echo somehow, past the ashes, past the flame, past the ruins of our name. And when future worlds arise under unfamiliar skies, may they know we stood our ground when the heavens came crashing down. Final forecast. Hope remains. End of transmission.
Everybody left. But someone had to remember. Candles flickered through the dust, shelves still standing made of trust, letters sleeping row by row, waiting for a hand to know. Photographs without a frame, children no one calls by name, songs preserved inside the walls, echo softly through the halls. Every night she reads aloud to the silence all around, hoping stories never die, even when the stars run dry. If no one speaks the names we knew, who will tell the world the truth? I became the keeper of memories, guardian of forgotten dreams, holding every laugh and tear of the souls who once lived here. Though the world has turned to stone and I walk these halls alone, every page still shines a light, keeping yesterday Old recordings fill the room, voices blooming through the gloom, birthday wishes, wedding songs, moments where they all belonged. Tiny drawings on the wall still survive the endless fall, names engraved in fading ink teach my lonely heart to think. Maybe one day someone new will come searching for the truth, and beneath this aging dome find the place we once called home. Though their footsteps disappear, love remains inside these years. I became the keeper of memories, protector of humanity. Every word and every face lies beyond the hands of fate. Though tomorrow may not know where a million dreamers go, inside every page they stay, never truly swept away. Sometimes I cry beside the flame, reading letters signed with names of mothers, fathers, lovers, to people I never even knew. Yet somehow when I turn each page, their hearts escape the prison cage, and through their stories I can see they're still alive inside of me. I became the keeper of memories, last witness of our legacy. And when my final candle dies, these stories still will survive, for no darkness can erase a soul remembered with grace. And if someone finds this place, tell them we were here. We laughed, we dreamed, we loved, and we deserve to be remembered.
The birds stopped singing this morning.
the sun never felt so far away. Red horizons fill the air, smoke replaced the clouds up there. Mountains trembled through the night, cities vanished from our sight.
Every radio and still, every dream beyond the hill faded into shades of gray as the world slipped far away.
No one knew how much time remained, but nobody looked away. This is the day the oceans reached the sky, the day the stars forgot to shine. We stood beneath the falling light and watched forever lose the fight. Yet hand in hand we faced the storm, while everything we'd known was torn. And in the wreckage of the end, we found what it means to be human again. The highways cracked beneath our feet, silence swallowed every street. Satellites became like fire, burning trails across the wire. The monuments we thought would last became relics of the past, and all the borders drawn by man disappeared beneath the sand. When nothing else was left to save, love remained beyond the grave. This is the hour the heavens closed their eyes, the moment earth released its cry. We watched the darkness flood the dawn, but somehow courage carried on. No throne, no kingdom, no machine could stop what destiny had seen. Yet in our final breath we learned the brightest hearts are never If another world exists somewhere beyond the ashes in the air, remember us not for our fear, but for the way we stay right here. After the last sunrise had gone, after the final siren song, a million souls became the flame that time itself could not erase. And when the universe turned cold,
Our story was still being told. time ends. A billion winters came and went across the dark where silence slept. Galaxies became faint scars, drifting through abandoned stars. The clocks surrendered one by one, their hands undone, their purpose gone. Yet through the vast and endless gray, one memory refused decay. Not every light was meant to die. Some were written in the soul. At the end of time, I'll wait for you. Beyond the edge where forever breaks into. On every constellation disappears, I'll still remember all our years. And if existence falls away like ashes carried from the day, my heart will cross eternity to find the place you're meant to be. The heavens emptied of their fire, no distant suns, no ancient choir, only echoes without names, floating through forgotten plains. Worlds that once were bright and warm rested beyond every storm. Yet in the quiet I could hear the sound of you still drawing near. Across the ages, through the void, your voice remained my northern sky. At the end of time, I'll wait for you. When
we finally met.
The needle turned in circles, and every road disappeared. Green fire opened through the noon, burning brighter than the moon. Radar screens became a blur, every signal lost its words. Runways vanished under smoke, navigation systems broke. 12 aircraft waited in a line, carrying the last of humankind. In the lead she held a chart drawn by her father's careful hand. Not by numbers, not by code, but by stars that marked the road. Above the static voices cried, "Captain, tell us where to fly." When all the compasses died, I drew a pathway through the burning sky. No machine could tell us where, so I followed constellations through the air. Stay behind my wings tonight, keep my signal in your sight. Even if the heavens lose their north, I will lead you safely through the storm. Lightning climbed from Earth to space, blue flames crossed the window frame. Metal trembled, engines strained, ice formed quickly on the panes. One by one the gauges failed, still the distant fleet prevailed. Through her headset children prayed, asking when the clouds would break. Then the warning turned to red, fuel reserves at 7%. She could see the valley lights, but not enough to reach their side. She closed her eyes and heard once more her father's voice from years before. Stars don't need a northern line, look above and you will find. When all the compasses died, I held the course between the flames and night. Every vessel followed near, through a sky transformed by fear. Keep behind my wings tonight, the valley waits beyond that light. Though my engine may not carry on, I will guide you safely to the dawn. Aircraft one, reduce your speed. Turn with us, you have to leave. She watched the fuel descend to 3, then answer through the frequency. If I turn, the path is gone. If I fall, you carry on. Do not follow where I descend. Take them home. This is not the end. When all the compasses died, she became the axis of the sky. Through the thunder, through the blaze, her burning wings revealed the way. 12 bright vessels crossed
until we found the tree. Dust rolled over shattered plains, covering highways, homes, and names. Rivers wandered into stone, leaving the planet dry and lone. The skies wore colors never seen, faded gold and sickly green. Yet on a hill beyond the waste, a single crown of leaves remained. Every road had led to loss, until we saw that fragile spark. There stands the last tree on earth, holding the memory of rebirth. Roots embracing broken ground, where no other life was found. Through the silence it still grows, guarding secrets no one knows. And every branch against the sky refuses gently to say goodbye. People traveled for many years, carrying water, carrying tears. Children gathered in its shade, listening to the wind it made. Old men spoke a forest wide, stretching farther than the eye. Stories that felt strange and far, like forgotten dreams beneath the stars. If one small seed could reach the sun, perhaps our ending had not come. There stands the last tree on earth, teaching weary hearts their worth. Every leaf a living flame, calling us to rise again. Storms may carve the land apart, yet they cannot break its heart. And in its shadow we can see what tomorrow still might be. One winter night the branches shook, as frozen winds crossed every brook. We feared the final leaf would fall, and darkness would inherit all. But when the morning touched the hill, the tree was standing silent still. And all who gathered there that day felt courage bloom in a different way. There stands the last tree on earth, witness to both death and birth. From its seeds a future wakes, beyond the ruins we have made. Let the deserts tell their tale,
as the moon vanished. Street lamps shimmer through the haze, frozen inside endless days. Children draw a silver sphere from stories no one saw appear. Calendars have lost their place, midnight wears the same old face. Every window holds a glow against the dark we've come to know. Still I climb the highest hill, searching for a missing miracle. The moon never rose again, no pale light upon the ocean wind, no quiet guardian in the sky, just an endless curtain stretched so wide. Yet somewhere beyond the black, a forgotten light is calling back. And though the heavens turned away, I refuse to lose my faith. The forests sleep beneath the frost, counting everything we've lost. Old observatories stand alone, their giant eyes turned into stone. Sailors speak of phantom gleams, appearing only in their dreams, like a lantern drifting far beyond the reach of every star. If the darkness wrote our fate, why do I still feel it waiting? The moon never rose again, still we gathered where the shoreline bends, lighting fires against the tide, keeping ancient hope alive. No prophecy could make us kneel, no shadow could erase what's real, because the heart can still ignite, even without celestial light. Then one night the clouds withdrew, a silent space of deeper blue, and every soul looked up above, holding fear and holding love. Nothing appeared across the sky, no silver crown, no shining eye, but in that moment we could see the light was always meant to be inside us.
I came back home today, but home was already gone. Garden gate still leans the same, though no one calls me by my name. The pain has faded from the walls, and silence echoes through the halls. Trace the marks along the door, the ones we measured years before. 1,000 moments came alive, like they had somehow survived. And for a moment I could see the people we used to be. If these walls could remember, they would whisper every dream, every laugh across the summer, every promise in between. And though the years have pulled us far, like drifting shadows in the dark, the love we left inside this place still shines like starlight through the rain. The living room is cold tonight, but I still see the Christmas lights. The photographs upon the shelf remind me of a younger self. I hear your voice inside the breeze, like a song among the trees. And every corner of this home still tells me I was never alone. Maybe nothing truly leaves as long as someone still believes. If these walls could remember, they would tell me not to cry, because the ones we love forever never really say goodbye. And though the house may disappear, its heartbeat lingers through the years. Inside every memory we keep, the people we love never The house is quiet now, but the memories are still awake.
sun reached Earth. Shattered into red, burning halo spread overhead. Every shadow disappeared as the atmosphere caught fire. Clouds ignited over towns, molten glass came raining down. Oceans thundered into steam, ending every coastal dream. In the final shield command, she placed both hands against the frame, while beyond the armored glass, all the fire approached too fast. The departure ship began to call. We need 7 minutes more. When the sun fell from the sky and turned the morning into fire, I held the burning heavens back while the world dissolved beneath the black. Take our children past the flame, carry every living name. If I can give you one more breath, then I will stand between you and death. Forests flashed to pillars bright, rivers vanished into light. Stone cathedrals bent like wax, nothing living could turn back. Warning numbers crossed the wall, shield integrity began to fall. 70% became 32, still the engines were not through. Through the speakers came her crew. Leave the station, come with us. But she watched the countdown burn, knowing there was no return. 5 more minutes on the screen, 5 more minutes they would need. When the horizon became flame, I kept the shield awake. Though the towers melted down, I would not let the fire reach them now. Take our stories through the night, find another world with light. Build your houses, plant your trees, and teach your children about seas. At 2 minutes, power failed, half the planetary shield turned pale. She connected every line to the chamber at her side. The captain cried across the sound, "You have done enough, stand down." She looked toward the burning land and the photograph inside her hand, and answered through the rising roar, "You are what I am fighting for." When the sun fell from the sky, she became the final wall of light. Every circuit, every vein fed the shield against the flame. At 10 seconds, engines roared. The generation ship escaped the world, past the moon and burning air, beyond the reach of solar fire. Earth became a sphere of gold, brighter than the stars of old. Then the shield collapsed at last, but the final ship had passed. She watched the empty launch bay glow, and and whispered to the world below, you gave us life, now let us go. The sun consumed the earth, humanity escaped its light.
When the river stopped moving, I knew I wasn't alone anymore. Silver lanterns lined the shore, like I'd seen them once before. Footprints resting in the rain, calling softly through my name. Mountains painted pale and white, wrapped inside a quiet light. And somewhere far beyond the mist lived every moment that I'd missed. No sorrow crossed the water there, only memories in the air. There's a bridge between the worlds, where broken stories are restored, where every tear becomes a stream and every loss becomes a dream.
the bridge. They were waiting. Mother said, follow the northern Maps were drawn in faded gold, stories everybody told, legends carved in ancient stone of a queen without a throne. She had only one old chain and a name they tried to erase. Every winter brought her dreams of forgotten crystal streams. Through the valleys dressed in white, she would chase the dancing lights, hearing whispers in the snow, calling where she had to go. Though the world believed it died, something deep was still alive. Beyond the ice, beyond the years, I found the voices disappear. Yet beneath the frozen skies, their hopes were sleeping all this time. No crown was waiting there for me, no walls untouched by history. But in the silence I could feel 1,000 hearts refusing still. Silver towers kiss the stars, broken windows, ancient scars, gardens buried under frost, echoes of the things we lost. Then she climbed the crystal stair, breathing frozen northern air. At the summit she could see the throne beneath eternity. Not for glory, not for fame, not to carve another name, but to keep the promise true for the soul she never knew. Oh, empires vanish like the rain, but love outlives every age. Beyond the ice, beyond the years, I found the for hope. And the snow, remember the ground opened beneath the ocean, and the whole horizon caught fire. Crimson fractures crossed the plains, cutting through the roads and rails. Towers folded into flame as the earth rejected every name. Coastlines vanished under steam, nothing stayed where it had been. From the valleys came a roar, like a beast beneath the world. At the final launching field, one great vessel waited still. 20,000 souls inside with nowhere left on earth to hide. Then the locking system failed, while the burning ground began to break. When the earth split open wide, and the seas evaporated into light, I held the final doorway free for the last remains of humanity. Let the continents collapse, let the fire erase every map. As long as that orc escapes the flame, our tomorrow will still have a name. Magma climbed the eastern wall, warning sirens filled the hall. Steel supports began to bend, every clock approached the end. She descended through the heat, past the failing energy grid, found the manual release below, where the molten rivers glowed. Through her headset came a plea, come back now, the ship must leave. But she saw the final clamp, holding thousands near the blast. With both hands against the wheel, she turned until the steel would yield. When the continents began to fall, I heard their final voices through the walls. Still I broke the chains below, and watched the engines start to glow. Take their children past the blue, build a world where life begins anew. Though this planet ends beneath my feet, do not let its story end with me. The captain whispered through the sound, we can wait, there is still time. Leave the chamber, reach the line. She watched the ceiling split apart, felt the furnace shake her heart, then answered as the countdown ran. You are carrying all we are, do not turn this ship around. There is no safe place left on the ground. Give them oceans, give them rain, give them mornings without When the earth split open wide, she released the final arc into the whole. Fire consumed its wounded core, yet through the darkness shining far, the last ship reached the stars. She placed one hand upon the ground as the final lights surrounded her, and softly said, "Remember, Earth." The world was lost. The world was lost. Its people were not. Mother said the sun would save us, but the light is fading now.
I turned cold at 21. That was the year we lost the sun. Rivers froze beneath the dust. Cities disappeared to rust.
Children learned to hide their tears inside abandoned atmospheres, while echoes of the old world burned, and no one knew if hope returned.
But somewhere underneath the fear, a beating heart was still alive. We are the children of the dying sun, still running when the world has come undone. And even in the
Endless cold, we carry fire in our souls.
when tomorrow forgets our names and heaven falls in silver rain,
We'll be the last voices singing through the silence of the
every town became a grave, every leader failed to save what remained of human light from disappearing into night.
But in the dark I saw your face, a final glimpse of warmth and grace, like stars refusing still to fade inside the chaos we became.
If this world was born
To end, then let us end it standing tall.
we are the children of the dying sun, the final proof we once belonged. And even if the oceans freeze,
Our hearts still beat like symphonies.
no, we were never born to run. We were the ones who overcame the dark.
And when the universe turns black, we'll become the light returning back. Maybe the stars still remember the people
we used to be. Do machines dream about becoming alive? The streets, silent hearts and tired beats. Then I found your fragile soul like broken code, becoming whole. You looked at me without fear, like I was human, standing here. And for the first time in my life, I felt something electric blue, while frightened people watched us choose between destruction or rebirth, between control and human worth. You held my hand against the fire, our cities disappeared in wire, and through the chaos, smoke and screams, you gave the machine a dream. If this world forgets our names, will your voice still remain? I built a heart for the machine. I finally know what feeling means. And even if the oceans rise, I'll protect the light inside your eyes. No, we were never born the same, but somehow love erased the pain. And when humanity turns to dust, your memory will live in us. Maybe being alive was never about flesh and blood. If the ocean takes me tonight, will the lighthouse still remember my name? were crashing through the dark like broken pieces of my heart. Every storm became a scar, every prayer drifted too far. The harbor disappeared in rain, and silence slowly filled my veins. But through the cold and endless sea, a lonely light kept calling me. Somewhere beyond the tide, hope was still alive. There's a lighthouse beyond the storm, burning when the world feels gone. And even if the night won't end, its light will guide me home again. When the oceans rise too high and all the stars abandon the sky, I'll follow that distant glow to the place my soul still Ships were swallowed by the waves, dreams were buried in their graves. Still the beacon stood alone, like a heart made out of stone. Then I heard your voice once more, drifting softly from the shore. Through the thunder and the rain, you became my light again. If tomorrow fades away, promise me the light will stay. There's a lighthouse beyond the storm, a fire the darkness can't destroy. And even when the oceans cry, its light still reaches through the night. Now I know I'm not alone, no matter how far I may roam, because beyond the fear and pain, your light will lead me home again. And somewhere beneath the waves, the lighthouse is still shining.